was a variety of attack. There was close to the line plays, there was forward scoring tries, there was back scoring tries, there was tries from kicks, tries from breaks. It was, a solid, really good Leeds performance against not that good a Wakefield performance, it has to be said.
Yeah, the test is coming there for Leeds, isn't it? Over the next couple of weeks, they're going to need to continue this form and maintain this progress, and then have it build.
If they are to be a top four side, I said before the start of the season, I think it's still ringing true. Leeds will win the games that you think they're going to win, and they'll lose the games you think they're going to lose. It's just, it was happening a little bit more dramatically maybe than we were expecting before. And like how tense the win over Lee was, how bad the defeat over Castleford was. But now it's maybe got maybe more to a level where you'd expect. You thought they would hammer Widnes. You thought they would beat Wakefield relatively comfortably. Not quite as comfortably as they did, but like you say, it's going to play out. But it's a really solid beginning for the Crisis Club. Yeah,
for me, they've got enough to be tickling around that fourth and fifth place mark if things go well for them and they get things fixed up. But we'll have to see. What did the stats tell us then?
Well, Leeds made more errors, but conceded fewer penalties and made over 300 more metres than their opposition. These were helpful. They must have made fewer errors then, because I don't know why I've written this way. They were helpful. This was helpful in them overcoming a 2.5% worse team tackle success than Wakefield put up. Wakefield also had some moments in attack, but couldn't capitalise on a 5-3 clean break advantage.
Okay.
Part of that might be because of the half-backs not playing together like Wakey White indicate, but I can't remember feeling like they had loads of chances. So it must just be like half chances. Yeah,
I felt like Williams' kicking game wasn't necessarily on point. I recall a couple of them going out and being a bit heavy-footed.
Yeah, but not quite as bad as Danny Maguire's in the last 5 minutes or so, where he spanked it miles out of touch.
Yeah, no, none of them quite that bad. Individually, who stood out for us on the Leeds Rhinos side of things, then, Mark?
Callum Watkins had 2 tries. And 100 metres. Adam Cuthbertson with a try, 109 metres, 3 successful offloads. So kind of playing a bit close to his chest there for only 3 offloads for Cuthbo. Ryan Hall with a try, 156 metres and 2 clean breaks. Mitch Garber, 228 running metres in this game. Matt Parcell with a try and 2 try assists.
And for Wakefield,
Tinneral Bright Eyes Arona had 40 tackles. Jacob Miller with 2 try assists. David Fafita with a try, 5 tackle balls, 105 metres, and Tom Johnston with 2 tries.
There you go. Okay, so to Saturday afternoon, and down in the south of France, it was Catalan Dragons 24, St Helens 28. A last gasp win for the visiting side in front of 8,158 people.
We start with Tyler again this time. He says, great to see the Catalans fail in front of their own fans. After thinking Saints' best chance of winning was down the left edge, a lovely bit of play down the right sealed the win. Les Miserables. You do it, yeah. Love it. And then Alan Walker just did a kind of a poo and hashtag ref's fault.
I know we've talked about this before, and I know that Tyler Cass fans' hatred of Catalan Dragons is there for all to see. But have we actually talked about why?
I don't know why.
Yeah, I need Tyler to expand on this a little bit, because it just seems odd. I'm not saying he's not allowed to hate them. Hate who you want, that's fine. But
maybe he doesn't appreciate the style of play, which is reined in somewhat from the Trent Robinson free-flowing runners out of the back era to a much more gritty and depressing to watch version.
He's got that in his own. He's got that in his own club. He's got the attractive style rugby league, and it's the team that he supports that play it. So I don't know. There's more to it, and I'd love to hear from Tyler as to why. Aidan Stalker got in touch. He said the first half was an amazing display of tag rugby, with Robert Hicks the star of the show. When a game of league broke out around the 50-minute mark, my brain was shot. Tommy Makinson and Farge were very good, so we'll take the win and move on. A few concussions look to be ignored, which is not good to see.
Scoots 28 Max said off the cuff play from both teams combined with poor defence make for an entertaining match.
There we go. Saint David, he said completely different approach from Saints with far more ball movement and offloads than we've seen in the last 2 years. Long may it continue. Far from perfect, and Catalan pretty average but exciting and a win. Walmsley unplayable, bleeding busted Frenchman all over the park, and Farge excellent with the ball. Bring on the wire. So there we go. I was turning a page. I lost my place.
No, that's fine. I sent a tweet out in the first half saying it looked like both teams were attacking with 13, but defending with 12. I was tempted to send the same tweet out in the second half, but flipped around. Because it really was a game of two halves, but both sides living up to that for the way the game went. And the first half, it really did feel like it would be a try. If it wasn't a mistake, it would be a try. There was even like tries ruled out for both sides that were close, were marginal. Either just a foot just in touch, or a forward pass just forward, or things were close to scoring every single time either team was in the attacking third. It was remarkable. It was not what we'd seen from either side this year whatsoever. The second half, a bit more disjointed, a few more errors, and tougher work in the pack. So you needed game breakers like Alex Walmsley, who was just forceful and dominant when he was on the pitch. Saints are a different side, really, when he's
go forward,
when he's on the pitch. Obviously, they were capitalising on the skills of Farge and Percival for most of their breakthroughs that they made in this game. Farge's offload for the final try, though,
how he got that out is astounding. Great play
without it touching the floor and stuff. Absolutely brilliant, and that piece of skill was worthy of winning a match.
Just about to say that, absolutely. It was a surprising result, really, from my point of view, in terms of St Helens getting the win, because I really didn't see this happening for them. And actually, perhaps this is kind of one of those results that's the tonic that then spurs you on to start performing better, because it wasn't expected necessarily, and it wasn't necessarily against the run of play. But Saints' form leading into it had been scratchy, and maybe this is just the kind of grind out result, if you want, that gets them back on track and allows them, especially if there's been a sea change in the way that they're playing the game, might allow them to express themselves better when they get back onto home turf, and just carry a bit of confidence into this weekend's fixtures, and hopefully have something to build on from a Saints fans' point of view.
Well, in people like Walmsley and Tyre and people, they've got some good offloaders, and if people are willing to commit to supporting those players, then you're gonna reap the benefits from that, surely. And
I think getting Johnny Lomax back as well, and having him picking up those balls and getting at the line will help, and obviously that will free up Makinson to get back into his more natural position as well, which will improve them in terms of just clicking properly in that back line.
Well, when Lomax plays, they win 4 out of 5 games. Historically, over the period of the Super League pod. So he is absolutely crucial for them. But they managed to win this one without him. And I think the fact that they were able to put some decent attacking moves on in the first half and then be tough in the second half down the middle shows that they are possibly coming out of their slump as well. They're not quite fully, because it took a late try to win it after they had opportunity after opportunity in the first half, really. And even in the second half, you saw a few breaks from people that didn't quite lead to stuff. Both sides, right centres. No, Ryan Morgan and his opposite, Willie Army, was on the same side of the pitch, and both had like big breaks in the game, and the teams didn't quite capitalise on them all the time. But it was entertaining, weren't it, for sure? Did anyone stand out for Catalan for you? I liked the way Busquets ran onto the ball for his try.
There's some good running. Luke Walsh, for me, look, he's just fitting in subtly. That was probably one of his better games in a Catalan jersey for me, and I think he's fitting in nicely and kind of providing that pivot and marshalling them round well. And I think if he goes well and they keep him on the pitch, that'll be a big KPI in terms of Catalan's performance this season. So he's quietly being their standout player for me. He's not really set the world on fire, but he's laying on tries and he's doing his job well, and he's kicking about the park quite nicely.
This was the first game where he contributed more than just his goal kicking, really. I felt, but that was a good omen for them. And him and Miles seem to be on the same page more often than not.
And you've got to remember, this is his 5th game for a new team. So give him some time, and I think it'll start to come good for. Or I would like to see it come good for him. I don't bear Luke Walsh any ill will. I think it'd be nice to see him play a full season in the Super League.
What about some of the ruled out tries? Maybe the most controversial one might be Milers for the obstruction.
Talk me through it, Cole.
Do you not remember?
No.
It was where the forward ran. Battieri ran a line, made contact with Amor as the ball was. I think before the ball was passed, actually, behind the back of Battieri to Myler. Myler then stepped inside and over pursuing Amor.
Right.
To get to the line. I think that was possibly the most questionable one. It was ruled out as an obstruction. It went up as no try. I feel like if it had gone up as a try, they might have said Amor had an opportunity to get to Myler, but I sort of think that he was impeded in terms of he felt he had to make up after the initial bump, which caused the overcommitment, which gave Myler the space to step.
Yeah,
I think it was probably just about the right call, but if I was a Catalan fan, I would have been. It wasn't as. Well,
they do feel aggrieved.
It wasn't as controversial as the obstruction try, no try against. In the same fixture the year before last when Greg Richards...
you get me really stretched my memory back at that point.
Wasn't given a try. I remember it just because Greg Richards has never scored a try.
Yes, there you go. Bless him. I think that's going to often be the case, isn't it? This is the thing that frustrates me sometimes about the video referee system, is that oftentimes it works and it legitimises itself. But that level of interpretation that exists between how a referee sees it and how he sends it up puts the video referee in a position where he can't then make that decision. So if it goes up no try, it comes back no try. If it goes up a try, it comes down a try. And often it's based on there being that grey area and it not being conclusive evidence. I think that's sometimes where things fall down, and it does go into that kind of grey area of how the referees interpret it.
I think as long as everyone accepts that there's a consistency in that approach, and you don't get any like Ben Thaler Maverick moments.
Oh, no, exactly.
Then I think we're okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm a big fan of the video ref system, so no, it's not me criticising it at all. It's Sunday. Oh no, individuals and stats and everything, Mark.
Yeah, so the stats were mostly close actually. The key performance stats on this one, and suggest it could have gone either way. A 2.4% better team tackle success was a part of Catalan actually ending up on the better side of the positive negative play differential by plus 14, which isn't a massive margin to be honest. An extra break and a couple fewer penalties conceded were also in their favour. Saints were the better offload inside, 17-8 successful offloads, and just edged the amount of carries. Getting more ball at crucial times was always key in this close game.
There you go. So if you go back to what your DNA as a club is and start playing that expansive rugby, it pays off for you.
Maybe so.
Individually then, who stood out for us?
On the winning side, James Roby with 2 try assists, 45 tackles, did what he does. Tommy Makinson, a try assist, 115 metres, is still a threat from fullback. I feel like wing is... I'd be more worried about him if he was on the wing from an opposition standpoint.
Yeah.
Adam Swift with a try, 100 metres, 2 clean breaks. Ryan Morgan with a try and 113 metres. And we finish, as we probably will do a lot of times with Saints this year, with Mark Percival, a try assist, 5 tackle busts, 3 clean breaks. He was a threat again throughout. On the losing Catalan side, Luke Walsh contributed 3 try assists, so you were keen to spot that one. That's good stuff. Braden Williame with 172 metres, 2 clean breaks. Jason Battieri, 43 tackles, no missed tackles from the French Aussie. Ian Thornley with a try, 167 metres, 2 clean breaks. And Paul Ayton with a try, but also 46 tackles without missing one.
Look at that, 2 going without a miss. That's fantastic work. Right, to Sunday afternoon then, a traditional time for rugby league enthusiasts to gather at their respective churches, and it was the AJ Bell where Gareth O'Brien was turning the clock back to October with a drop goal victory, Mark, this time coming over the Castleford Tigers after Chicken Tikka Masala had bagged a couple of tries of his own. In front of 5,221 people.
We don't want to be apologising to Bernard again.
I don't have to.
No.
Don't apologise to anyone.
Yeah, so 13-12, and we start with Adam Conley. At Adam Conley 87, he said, "Not the best game, defences on top, crap weather and shocking car park." I'm guessing Adam is a Cass fan because everyone
wants to get himself parked up at the airport.
That's it. Why aren't people getting to the Barton Aerodrome if they need to park up for those games? You get out.
We should get in touch with Barton Aerodrome and see if they want to sponsor the podcast for the amount of plugs we give them on. We probably plug them 2 or 3 times a year.
Every time anyone mentions the car park, yeah.
Barton Aerodrome brings you the Super League pod, flying high in rugby league. I could do all the marketing for them. It's easy. I'll do all the work. They just have to get the cash out. I don't even think we need a lot of money from them, really, would we? A couple of £100.
Whatever, anything is good.
Yeah, so if you want to sponsor the podcast, apparently that's our rate card, £200.